Hi, I'm food writer Corey Mintz reporting live from Canada, where Tim Hortons is the national beloved food chain. But unless you happen to be a citizen of Brazil, any swell of patriotic pride may be misplaced because 3G Capital, the Brazilian investment firm, owns Tim Hortons and has for the last 5 years. Have they lost their way? Have all their menu changes made them lose their identity? There's only one way to find out, and that's for me to eat my way through the entire Tim Hortons menu in one sitting right now. First up, my morning/afternoon second coffee of the day. Starting with the hot things. I don't know if we're considering this an appetizer or an amuse-bouche. Thank you. Chili and wedges. Now that at first it's my tongue and I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's good. It's a good bowl of chili. I'm like, except for the sugar. Why do you need to put sugar in chili? I mean, I'm like, why does it need to be slightly gelatinous, like cornstarchy? Like it's got a little bit of chili and cumin at the end of it, but none of that really matters as much as the fact that it's weirdly gelatinous. What's next, chef? Clam chowder. Oh my God, who goes into a donut shop in a landlocked city and says like, I'll have the clam chowder? This seems insane. It's mercifully watery. There's barely a note of clams in there. Breakfast sandwich with melted cheese, omelet, and a patty, which is beef or Beyond Beef. That's pretty satisfying. It's nice and salty, and it's like something that I would actually want in the morning. Not that I actually want to take a second bite of this thing. I like the biscuit. See, now you shouldn't have told me it was the Beyond Burger. You should have just said burger. It's a decent burger. The actual patty. I'll say this about the Beyond Burgers, I think they've so far done a fantastic job of replicating the texture of beef. Not so much on the flavor. If you don't want to eat beef, which we probably shouldn't for environmental reasons, that's a solid little burger that you can get at a coffee shop. I will take this stuff home, by the way. All right, next up, classic flavor pairing I learned in chef school, chicken fingies and mango chill supreme. Ugh, that is incredibly unpleasant. And chicken fingers, I'm gonna go without this dip and sauce, no disrespect. No, I mean, it's a slightly dry piece of chicken, but pasty at the end. The chicken shouldn't end with a pasty texture. Okay, coffee and a bagel. Now this is my jam. I don't know if we need a profile shot to tell you I am a Jew. So this is actually my comfort food. I'm not super familiar with the Tim Hortons menu outside of needing to grab a cup of coffee on the side of a highway, but I am familiar with bagels. It's like a supermarket bagel, you know what I mean? It's neither fluffy like a New York bagel, nor sweetly chewy like a Montreal bagel. Ooh, is this what is known as a double-double? Why would anyone need that much sugar and fat in their coffee? Why do you need to add this much sugar to it to enjoy it? If you did, then do you actually like coffee? What do we have here? Oh, there's a label on this one. Apple, cinnamon, something. Yeah, it's like a half cup of sugar and some weak tea. An apple flavoring, but I do like the cinnamon. It says Tim Hortons and Shawn Mendes, who I would have guessed is a hockey player, but he has a guitar, so it's obviously a musician. Twist and Shout, is that Shawn Mendes? Rock and Roll All Night Long? It's one of those. Brooklyn Zoo? That's Old Dirty. It's one of those. I know it's one of those. We once spent a night in the emergency room. My wife had a blood clot, and her ankle looked like this. It brings back memories. By the way, the staff at Mount Sinai, they're the best. God bless you people. And let's start in the top left with the pumpkin spice muffin. That's a fine muffin. I don't got bad about this muffin. I think it's got a good shellacking. I got no complaints about this muffin. I guess that's not really the fair starting point. Like, I got no complaints about this muffin. I don't know what this is. It has what look like pumpkin seeds on it. I'm seeing either somebody dropped something on it or it's got a filling. It is carrot cake. The only problem is it's just slightly undercooked at the top. I guess they get the cream in by somebody with a squeeze tube that goes like this. It's dark. I'm seeing maybe raisins, maybe craisins, maybe. Which one I love? I'm a raisin person. I don't care if they show up in rice pudding, in oatmeal cookies. I'm always happy. I'm not going to complain like they're trying to imitate chocolate chips. They're their own thing. Maybe a coffee, maybe something to sort of just cut through the sugar. And of course, you would tell me if I had something in my teeth. I'm very curious about this. A little Danish with red filling. Red's my favorite flavor. You can taste the red. And I should probably wipe my hands, but I'm not going to. So I gotta keep going. Which croissant first? Write a comment beneath, and that's the croissant I'll choose next. Pretty soon, I'm gonna start to feel awful and kind of hyper, anxious about all the things I'm doing or not doing. Cut that part. I'm a big fan of donuts. I serve donuts instead of cake at my wedding. I am always in the mood for donuts. I like both cake donuts and yeast donuts. I see a mixture of the two here. So starting with your classic plain donut, which I have to say I love. And then to the left of that, you've got, I think, like it's a cake glazed donut, but I think they call it a sour cream glazed, which is also very good. Oh boy, this is where the plot falls apart. Yeast donut is good for maybe an hour or two after it's made. It gets done real quick. Cake style with chocolate glaze. Diminishing returns. The plain cake one, it's a perfect simple donut that I want with like a cup of black coffee. This one is undone by their lousy icing. Cruller or a fritter? Does anyone know the difference between? This just in, it's a cruller or a cruller. I like it. Like the glaze on top is thick enough that you can break it off, you know, like bathroom tile. I'm gonna start over here because I want it like this is, I feel like this is gonna be good. I'm gonna be happier with this. Never like, have a little palate cleanser. Moving on. Yeah, there's a creamy custard inside. Context changes everything. Now, I love this coffee. Now this coffee is a life raft in a sea of sugar. I just want a close-up of my finger. And at the very end, yeah, it's good. Friends, I've learned a lesson. Should I need to eat at Tim Hortons, I've got my menu set. Biscuit breakfast sandwich, plain donut, and a cup of black coffee. Has Tim Hortons lost their way? Well, their way is that of a global conglomerate that's looking to open 1,500 locations in China over the next 10 years. So, no, their way is to constantly expand their menu. And as long as they can count you as a customer, then they're on that way.